passing through, you gotta come on up to the house. There's nothing in the world that you can do, you better come on up to the house. You've been whipped by the forces that are inside you, you gotta come on up to the house. Well, you're high on your mountain, top of your mountain of woe, you gotta come on up to the house. Well, you know you should surrender, but you can't let go, you gotta come on up to the house. You gotta come on up to the house. You gotta come on up to the house. This world is not my home, I'm just passing through. You gotta come on up to the house. This world is not my home, I'm just passing through. So why don't you come on up to the house? Well, hello everybody there. How you doing? Glad to see you. Um, yeah, let me just see what's going on here. For some reason, I don't have my screen on, but as again, it's on. It's not on mine, but it's on the feed, so not sure what's up with that. But anyway, we are under a tornado watch here, so hopefully everything is going to be all right. It all of a sudden got really warm. My cheeks are all red. I haven't been drinking. That just happens when I get hot. So it went from about 40 degrees Fahrenheit to about 75. So yeah, so it's pretty warm. But anyway, just thank you so much for coming up to the house today. I was earlier on a show. My friend Diana Jones had a show just before this one, also on Zoom, but she wasn't streaming live to Facebook or anything. But oh my gosh, she's so good. I highly recommend checking her out if you get a chance. So yeah, I'm also using Restream. We're streaming live to my Facebook page and my personal profile, as well as YouTube. So hopefully that's all working well as well. So yeah, we are gratefully accepting donations, and I'm just going to share this with you. This is the donation information. PayPal is paypal.me/LMcRae42, and Venmo is Linda-McRae, MCRAE-12. So thank you so much for any donations you're able to spare. I'll be sharing that with my wonderful guest today. I'll be bringing her on in a little while. And let's see. Oh, and I wanted to mention, post in the comments where you're tuning in from. If you have any questions for us or any comments that you want to make, please do. And sharing the post actually really helps with the algorithm things as well. Keeps Facebook shoving it out to all over the place. So as I've mentioned so many times before, I'm just so grateful that we have this technology. It's been really a tough thing these past months. It's almost been a year now. I got vaccinated on Friday, and my second one is coming up on March 19th, 4 days after my birthday. So I was really happy to get that. I know there's a lot of people that are kind of freaking out about the vaccine, but Didn't hurt a bit. Hardly felt it, and there was no side effects or anything. My arm was a little tender for a bit, but it's all good. So I'm very happy about that. I just thought I would mention some of the upcoming shows. On March 13th, I'm actually not holding my regular show that same weekend because I'm doing a house concert called Two Blue Roses house concert that Jeanette Lundgren has put together. I was supposed to play her house concert in person back last March, and of course everything shut down, so it was canceled. And we were actually trying to decide whether to do it, go ahead and do it this year or wait another year. But I just thought, it's her birthday. Jeanette's birthday is on the 12th and mine is on the 15th. So I thought it'd be kind of a nice way to celebrate. And she's a wonderful person. And I wrote a song that's based around the title of her concert series. So stay tuned for that. That's on March 13th. I'll be broadcasting that on Facebook as well. And then on March 21st, which is back to a Sunday, March 13th is on the Saturday night. It's going to be at 7 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Central. And then the rest of these times will be on the Sundays at 4 p.m. Central. I'm going to be doing a show called Howling at the Moon, honoring the music of Hank Williams Sr. And so far I have 3 people signed up. We're going to probably do 6, I think. So I'm just waiting for to hear from a couple of other people about that. So stay tuned for that. And it's going to be really fantastic. Saturday, April 3rd. Actually, we've changed this one to Saturday as well because Sunday is Easter weekend. And we just thought, well, maybe we'll do it Saturday. So that one's going to be at 4 o'clock. And that is with the wonderful Ethan Ballinger. Ethan was part of my Christmas show that I did back in December. He's an incredible multi-instrumentalist, an amazing, wonderful person too. So stay tuned for that. April 18th, back to the Sunday at 4, is going to be Miss Brown to You, this lovely duo from Oklahoma City. And then on May 2nd, it's my mom's 86th birthday, and she's a huge music fan, and she's my biggest supporter next to James. And she is going to be programming all the music for that show, and it'll be just me playing that day. So that's going to be fun. I've got a list of a whole raft of songs, and I'm going to be learning some of her favorites, cover songs and stuff as well. So. And I want to thank Evangeline Elston from Evangeline Presents. She is on Facebook, sharing it to a bunch of different groups. She really helps me out with this. So thank you so much to Evangeline. And I mentioned the PayPal and all that stuff. I'm just going to get a little drink of water here before I get going. I'll just move my stuff around. So I just wanted to mention, and I was going to share a photo here. I have a new project with Doug Cox and Kim Ritchie. We did this a little while back, and it's a project. We had a month residency at the Leighton Studio in Banff, Alberta. There's a bit of a serendipity there with the crossover with my guest today as well, because she's spent time at the Banff Center too. But Kim and Doug and myself have all taught at the Banff Center, and we were so fortunate to have been given a month-long residency there. So we decided to write songs based around Dorothea Lange's photos. We watched a bunch of the Dust Bowl, Ken Burn shows, and then we ended up writing an EP basically. So the song that I'm gonna do is from that album. You can find it on Doug Cox's website at dougcox.org/store. It's on that page there. And I want to thank all the people that have been playing it on the radio, which is really terrific. So great to get that kind of support. Oh, and I just need to move this microphone around. I do have mics here. I kind of have them off the screen. This one is, I love this mic. I borrowed this from my friend Denise Williams and Rick Williams. They use it for their Hillbilly Haiku house concerts. And it's one of those ear trumpets, an Edwina, I believe it's called. But it tends to make the camera go nuts because of the shininess of it. So I just kind of put it down here out of screen. And then I also have this one up here. I don't think you can see it. But anyway, it's an Audio Technica that I borrowed from another friend of mine, Mr. Terry Pinniger. So thank you so much to those two for that. So here we go. This is called Work, Want, and Wandering. And this song was based around that particular photo. Work, want, and wandering, that's how we live. Work, want, and wandering, 10 hungry kids, we were barely existing. That's all I can say. Work, want, and wandering, when it all blows away. I was Cherokee born in 1903 in the home of the brave and the land of the free. When I married Cleo, I was just 17. 6 children later, he died from TB. Early frost, I picked cotton in Fireball, paid by the pound, 500 a day. When the boss was around, waited tables at night at the diner in town. Swore this would be my burying ground. Work, want, and wandering, that's how we live. Work, want, and wandering, 10 hungry kids, we were barely existing. That's all I can say. Work, want, and wandering, when it all blows away. When the money ran out and we had to go, but our covered jalopy wouldn't handle the load. Near a pea picker's camp, it sputtered and slowed. Near Palma Valley was the end of the road. Early frost killed the peas, no work for these hands. We went hungry, every child, every woman and man, and the stories we told were written in sand. I'd cry if I could, but I'm as dry as this land. Work, want, and wandering, that's how we live. Work, want, and wandering, 10 hungry kids, we were barely existing. That's all I can say. Work, want, and wandering, when it all blows away. Work, want, and wandering, when it all blows away. Work, want, and wandering. Thank you so much. Well, let's see. I wonder if I have this one. This is a new song, and And I have to read it off my computer because it is so new. I wrote this one with my good friend Kelly. Actually, no, I wrote this one on my own. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. But it's been really great. As I mentioned, I think on one of the other shows, I've been part of a songwriter group that meets every Monday. Usually takes around 2 or 3 hours. There's about 20 of us that show up on Zoom. And it's just been such an amazing, wonderful experience. We all listen to each other's songs. We play it live, and then everyone, makes comments and all that stuff. So this is one that I wrote and had some help changing things around a little bit. When does a creek become a river? When does a pond become a lake? When a line becomes a border? Does give turn into take? Does too much become too little? Is a light of truth too late? When wonder turns to apathy, is it too much to take? The answer to these questions can't tell right from wrong. Can the meek become empowered? The weak become strong? Where do the missing pieces go? Where do the lonely belong? Does trash become treasure? A touch become a slap? When the cure becomes addictive, does the body become the trap? The answer to these questions, are we all just pawns? I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer. I'm just a singer, not the song. When does friendship turn to love? When does love turn into hate? When does a girl become a woman who says she has to procreate? Does a house become a prison when we become estranged? Does a crush turn into stalking when obsession turns to rage? The answer to these questions are not solved with guns drawn. I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer. No, I don't have the answers. I'm just a singer, not the song. Thank you. Singer, not the song. Gosh, it's interesting. Like doing these shows are way more nerve wracking, I find, than actually doing a regular show. But oh my gosh, I miss playing for all you and in person and getting the response and the reaction from everyone. So thank you so much for tuning in. I know you're out there. Much appreciated. So yeah, this song is my husband James is celebrating his 34th sobriety birthday this coming July. It's a huge milestone, and it's such a wonderful thing. He probably would not have been around if it hadn't been for cleaning up. He ended up going to a place called the Arenda Center in California, and a woman there by the name of Estelle helped him turn it all around. So that's really great. We've been trying to find her. If anybody knows who Estelle is, or at the Arenda Center, she's no longer there anymore. This was quite some time ago, so 34 years, obviously. But that was in Santa Rosa, California. So if anybody out there knows her, I've been trying to reach her to thank her, and James, and I to thank her. So yeah, this is a song that I wrote with James, based around what he remembers of all the years he was in the throes of addiction, which it just isn't very much. So we had to make it up. It goes like this. Bought a house with no windows. It's crumbling and showing scars. Built on a street called Misery, where everything I touched fell apart. A house not fit for man nor beast, where no one ever really wants to stay. Couched with shame, so unforgiving, a place you own but never give away. Bought a house by lying and stealing, as black as the poison in my veins. I spent all my pride and got back no change, soaked to the bone with years of pain. I thought my house was so unique, and that I held the only key, but that key so many times been sold unlocks the door to purgatory. Oh, give me back my sanity, my home, my family. Lord, give me light. And now my house is vacant. Within its walls lies my past grief. So if you walk by and it catches your eye, keep on walking, don't come cheap. For it's a house made of fire and brimstone, and the souls that have gone before. Nightmares in the basement, sorrow in the attic, and it's darker than 3 midnights in a jar. Oh, give me back my sanity, my home, my family. Lord, give me light. Oh Lord, I fell down on my knees. I asked and I see the light. I bought a house with no windows, and it's darker than 3 midnights in a jar. 3 midnights in a jar. Darker than 3 midnights in a jar. Gosh, I see Facebook has a caption thing on. I don't know when they started doing that, but it's kind of annoying because I think it's wrong most of the time. But anyway, I'll have to fix that next time around. So, I think I'll do this song. This is one that I wrote pretty recently with my friend Kelly Kessler. We have a Monday morning writing appointment every week, and she had this idea, and I really loved what we ended up coming up with. So we'll do this song, and then I'll bring Terry on. You can't see it from the outside, the holes in someone's heart, all shut up with harsh words fed to them from the start. Like a fireman from my hometown who'd run in a burning house, but would rather die than make small talk when it was date night out. It's not that he's weak, that's not even close. A full-grown man like him eats up challenges like Cheerios. You just saw the ground beneath his feet turn out to be quicksand, kinda like kryptonite does to Superman. A friend of mine taught herself guitar, so there's lots she doesn't know. She works on scales and theory and dreams of going pro. Yet with all the time she studies, still she thinks she does it wrong. You can't please an inner voice that's ticking like a bomb. It's not that she's weak, that's not even close. A full-grown woman like her eats up challenges like Cheerios. You just saw the ground beneath her feet turn out to be quicksand, kinda like kryptonite does to Superman. Hope they find the courage to reach outside themselves. There's a strength inside we only find when we ask for a little help. Why am I even singing this? It's 'cause I needed to. As I learn to live with all these holes, sometimes I'll lean on you. It's not that I'm weak, that's not even close. A full-grown woman like me eats up challenges like Cheerios. You just saw the ground beneath my feet turn out to be quicksand, kinda like kryptonite does to Superman. If you see my knees start buckling, I'm hoping that you might help me pull out of this tailspin. And then I'm off to hit the heights, kinda like Superman needs a hand to get away from kryptonite. Kryptonite. Yeah, so thanks to Kelly Kessler for that one. We wrote that one together. And I just love writing with her so much. She's a really terrific person and a great songwriter. And yeah, I'm going to bring, in a minute, I'm going to bring Terry on. I just had a couple more things that I wanted to mention. Yeah, so I will just share the information on the donations again. You know, as I mentioned, we've all been out of work for like a whole year. So yeah, we'd appreciate any kind of, you know, donations you're able to give. That's much appreciated. PayPal is there, paypal.me/LMcRae42, and then Venmo is Linda-McRae-12. So thank you so much. So yeah, I'm gonna get my friend Terry to come on now. I will just, there you are. I just need to unmute there, Terry.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, we're unmuted.
So
How are you?
you're faster than me.
So how are you doing? What a wacky time, eh? Oh my gosh, this has just been
Absolutely.
unreal.
But it the light's getting longer and the days are getting warmer, and
Oh yeah,
that's
no
always a
kidding.
hopeful thing, you know.
For sure, for sure. I
Yeah.
just wanted to read a little bit about here about Terry. I probably should have done this before I brought you on camera because it's always kind of embarrassing hearing stuff about yourself like this. But Terry Morrison is a longtime member of the Canadian musical community and an accomplished guitar player. Her unique sense of melody and phrasing create her own inimitable brand of contemporary roots music. Delivered in a rich, sensual voice, her songs reflect a compassionate, innate intelligence. Terry has 65 CDs of original music to her credit. So it's so great that you're here. Um,
Well, it's my
when we were
pleasure.
doing sound check yesterday, I think we actually talked for about an hour doing sound check because we hadn't seen each other quite a long time. I
Yeah.
think we first maybe met at the sidetrack in Edmonton at a gig there. I'll
Yeah.
never forget that seeing you there. It was so fantastic. So yeah, I wanted to ask you, like, was your family musical? Did you come from a musical
Uh,
family?
well, my mom sang. My mom
Yeah.
always sang, yeah. And it's the only reason I ever went to church was so I could sing harmonies.
Ah,
My mom
all
loved the
right.
hymns.
Oh wow, that's great. That's great. So you kind of, it was in your mom sang and you heard all those songs and stuff.
Yeah,
Do you think some of that music has kind of crept into your
yeah,
songwriting?
and actually my mother's family was pretty musical. Métis musicians, you know, fiddle players, accordion,
Oh
uh,
right. Oh
all
my
that,
gosh.
you know. So, I mean, I didn't. Aside from my great uncle, I never really heard anybody other than that who played in my family. But
Right,
you
right.
know, my brother had
Wow.
aspirations of being a drummer. He used to drum on everything, including me in the house. He never went there. Instead, he went and got a master's in comparative literature instead. But you know,
Oh my gosh, that's unreal. Okay, well I'm gonna try and see if I can pin you here. They call it pin,
yeah.
so that you're actually on. Yeah, it's working a little differently today. So, okay, so I got you on speaker view now. So why don't you play a tune for us and hopefully this
Okay.
works out.
This is a song that you were mentioning that you'd been up at up at Banff doing some writing, and this is one of the songs that I wrote in my little time up there. And it's such a great privilege to be allowed to go and just do nothing but your art. For I was there for 3 weeks, and they feed you and take good care of you and all of that. So
They sure do.
yeah, this one's called Winter Sky, and I'm getting adjusted here. Um, and it's basically just like a little painting of. I live in the southern part of Alberta and in the prairies, and it's kind of about that. Well, there's a red-tailed hawk sitting on a fence. He sits stock still so he can sense the critters who have come to eat the grain. And his eyes, they travel all around to where the farmer's taken his crop down. They harvest, but there's always some remain. And the geese are scattered through the fields, they're gathering up the summer yield, and soon they will be flying high through the winter sky. Well, there's some folks, they got caught by it, that first September storm. And now the crops are lying on the ground, hoping they'll dry if it gets warm. Or maybe they could put the cows on it, save some bucks on feed. That might help a bit for what they're gonna need. And the geese are scattered through the fields, they're gathering up the summer yield. Soon they will be flying high through the winter sky. Well, it's always at this time of year when the leaves fall on the ground. Here in the northern hemisphere, the birds, they head southbound, and the sun, it travels low. It seems so quickly that it goes. Then winter settles in, and one more time around the sun again, and the geese are scattered through the fields, gathering up the summer yield. And soon they will be flying high through the winter sky. Soon they will be flying high through the winter sky.
Yeah, what a beautiful song.
Thank
Wow,
you.
that's just so gorgeous. Um, you have such a wonderful voice. I just love your voice so much. It's so rich and so deep and so evocative. There's just so much emotion and a life lived in your voice. It's just so great. I just love it. Who are some of your favorite singers? Like, did you kind of have some favorite
Well, I think like
vocalists
every
growing up?
woman my age, Joni Mitchell.
Well, yeah, right,
But
right.
I listen to a lot of jazz, so
Wow, right.
that was kind of more my the
Really?
female singers, yeah. People
Wow.
like Carmen McRae and just some fabulous. I can't
Right.
Ella
Yeah,
Fitzgerald.
yeah. I just watched a documentary on Billie Holiday, and
Oh
it
yeah,
was it was good. It was so friggin' sad, man.
Oh,
Anyway,
I know.
what a voice she had. But yeah, I just love your voice so much. It's just so great. And your guitar too. What kind of guitar is that?
This is a this is a court. They used to be
Oh,
called
wow.
Cortez, but yeah, I bought this guitar because I've got a guild like you, and
Right.
uh, and I've had it. Like I bought it, I think in 1974, and I didn't want to fly with it anymore because I'd
Right.
had too many close calls with it.
Yeah.
So I I got this guitar because it has a great sound and it has a really nice built-in pickup with equalizers and a tuner and everything, so you don't have to bring all your extra little gig.
Yeah, really. Oh my gosh, I was actually doing a tour in 2013 with Kim Beggs and MC Hansen from over in Denmark, and I have like a '63 Gibson. It's in the shop right now, getting some work on it. But
Right.
I didn't want to take that, so I took this Guild, and they broke the headstock in three places. Like it was just so. It's like oh, it was horrible.
I
So
know.
I totally understand that one for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Why,
my
why,
guitar is
sorry?
my guild is so scarred up, and it's got a beautiful voice, but I'm having a little issue with the bass E string right now.
Oh,
It's particularly in tune, so it needs a bit of work right now. So
right,
I'm
right.
playing
Yeah,
this
they kind
guitar.
of need a little love from time to time, don't they? For
Yeah, they
sure.
do. And the older they get, like
Yes.
the rest of us, things
Yeah,
start to
for
break
yeah,
down.
for sure. Things start to break down a little bit. Yeah. Great. Well, why don't you play us another tune
Okay,
there?
well, you were talking about that show we did at the track, and you were mentioning about this song that I have that
Yay!
that's entirely built on herbs and spices. It's called it's all puns, and it's called the Herbaceous Ballad of Coriander Mandrake.
Oh,
So
that's fantastic.
I thought I would play it for you.
Thank you so much. That's great.
Okay, here we go. So there's 32 herbs and spices in this song, and I mean, maybe we should have a pop quiz afterwards. Okay. Oh, come and listen to my tale of sorrow about a niece of mine and a man she was to marry, young Coriander Mandrake. Oh, Cory was a belladonna, and Drake a tarragon of virtue. One day she said, all spice is gone from our romance. And though I miss you, you no longer sell so feed me, honey. If I was any other chick, we'd have a chance. Oh, I have met my sweet basil, a savory gent, and a cardamom man. These words, they clove poor Drake's heart in twain. He said, time will never heal the pain, but I'm sager now and I can see you mustard been cheating on me. And though I rue the day we met, darling, I'd chamomile to get you, yeah. Ah, mm. Oh, no comfrey can I find, and no balm to blow that care away, or the sorrow that you're planting in my heart to stay. And on saffron, it's with lovage that I say you did some dandelion, but I hate to see you go away. Often I'll think of you I'll try to keep my tears at bay. Oh, but darling, there's just one thing that I never knew. That's how much you meant to me. Oh, yeah, that's how much you meant to me. Uh-huh, that's how much you really meant. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh gosh, I've forgotten about that song. It's so great. Is that on an album of yours?
That's on the first album that
It
I
is
recorded.
really.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's so great.
yeah.
Love that. There's such brilliant uses of that. Like "Come a Mile to Get You Yet." That's so many good ones. Oh my gosh. So when I first met you, you were living in Edmonton and you'd been in Edmonton for quite some time, you and your husband, John. John's going to join you in a little bit. But, uh, I remember a band that I was in called the Naughty Pines. It was a Western swing band. We all kind of descended on your house and you guys graciously put us up for a couple of nights, I think it was. It was so much fun. You had a beautiful old place there, and now you're living in Nanton,
Yeah.
Alberta,
Yes.
which is just for folks that don't know, Nanton is just south of Calgary, and it's
Yeah.
a wonderful town. There's a lot of musicians in Nanton.
Oh, yeah. They're actually in this whole area, Turner Valley, High River,
Right.
there's lots. Plus,
Yeah, no kidding.
it's less than an hour from Calgary. So,
Oh, okay.
well, I mean, from if you're going to downtown, yeah, it's
Right,
about an
right,
hour. Like if you're
right,
coming to the south side of Calgary, it's about 45 minutes. But
right,
and
right.
it's about an hour north of about an hour and a half north of Lethbridge. So, there's lots of places to choose from when there was gigs, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh, no kidding. Is the auditorium hotel shut down there? Or is
uh,
it still open?
it's still just barely hanging on, but
Barely. Oh,
it's
geez, yeah.
there. They've been trying to sell it. It's such an amazing old place. They've
Is
been
it
trying
ever?
to sell it
Eh?
because the people who own it, they're getting up in years, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
and I'm sure
yeah.
this whole situation has kind of killed them because
Oh my God, I know.
you
It's
know
really
they,
scary just thinking about what is going to
yeah,
happen as a result of all this. If there are going to be places to play when it's all
yeah. Well,
over.
there's,
But
like I mean, I know of at least two venues up in Edmonton that have closed, and
really,
people
wow.
places that we played fairly regularly.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, there's
And
some really great folk clubs there too. Like, Calgary and Edmonton have a wonderful, folk tradition with the huge Edmonton Folk Festival. You were mentioning Holger Peterson, actually.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we were
I mean,
talking about the radio and how supportive radio is in Alberta.
oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah. We're lucky because here in Alberta we have this fabulous. It's donor supported radio, CKUA, and honestly, they've introduced people to so much music
Yeah.
you would never hear on commercial radio,
No.
which is, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. There's a lot of really wonderful independent radio stations all over North America, and thank goodness for them. Especially right now, it'd be
Yeah.
pretty tricky. But so moving from Edmonton to Nanton, what was that like? Like how it must have been a fairly big change because Nanton's quite a small
Yeah.
town. It's a wonderful town.
Well, for us, I mean, we had kind of remained in up in Edmonton because John's mom was in care up there. But when she decided
Oh,
to leave this earthly plane, we
oh,
were not having to stay in Edmonton anymore, and both of us were kind of tired of living in the city, and where we
yeah.
lived, even though that was like a really beautiful old house and a neat old neighborhood, it had its inner city issues, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think I got tired of always feeling a little like I always had to lock the back gate and do all that stuff, you know?
Right, right.
Here, that's just not,
No,
yeah, you're
no.
not compelled in the same way. And it's not
Yeah,
that I don't miss some of my good friends up there, but you know, even when you're in the city, you don't see a lot of them. I think, you know, a few people, yes, of course,
yeah, yeah, for
but we
sure.
just love it down here. We've got a great big, you know, we've got a half-acre lot here. We got a beautiful garden, and you know, we're in that time of our lives where we're sort of retired.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Not
That's
completely.
great. That's great. Well, why don't you play us another song there?
Okay, well, I'll play this. This is another tune that I wrote up at Banff, and
Oh,
I'm,
great.
I'm part of, you know, the Métis Nation of Alberta here, and this is kind of a song, a little bit about the history of the Métis coming from. Well, like my family came from Manitoba back, you know, my antecedents, right? And when they came via Red River carts, which were they were sort of the transportation for like the Métis were kind of the middleman between the forts, and they you know brought a lot of the furs and the pelts and whatnot and pemmican and things to the forts, and that's how they traveled was via Red River cart. But when they left, that's how they traveled as well. Anyhow, this is called Red River Carts. With wood and leather strapped together, not one nail to be found. We'll get these carts to moving. We are Fort Carlton bound. These wheels sure make a racket when they get turning round. Well, that's a song that the Northwest fiddle sings, sure makes a mournful sound. It's goodbye to Red River lands, we're off on the Carlton Trail, guided by our mother's voice, praying we'll live to tell the tale. If we all stick together, and if nothing should go wrong, well, we could travel 15 miles today without it seeming long. We'll stop off down beside a creek to break our daily bread and to give our animals a break before we forge ahead. It's goodbye to Red River land, we're off on the Carlton Trail, guided by our mother's voice, praying we'll live to tell the tale. How could we know it would end this way, with no more buffalo and nowhere left to stay? Well, the priest said he was on our side, there was nothing he could do or say, because John A. MacDonald, he was a man who got his way. They referred to us as half-breed, I prefer Métis or to Pensuak in the language of the Cree. It's goodbye to Red River land, we're off on the Carlton Trail, guided by our mother's voice, praying we'll live to tell the tale. Just out of Batoche on the South Saskatchewan, she's a mighty river we have crossed, every woman, child, and man. And over 2 months will have passed till we hit Edmonton and find ourselves a place to rest, to make a home again. It's goodbye to Red River Land, we're off on the Carlton Trail, guided by our mother's voice, praying we'll live to tell the tale.
Gosh, Terry, that is just such an amazing song.
Thank you.
We were part of the Winter Roots Festival and Northern Lights Folk Festival presentation of the sound. Sorry, what are they called? The
The Sound Studios.
Sound Studio Institute. Yeah,
Yeah.
on Saturday, and you played that song. I guess that was what day is it today? A week ago, yesterday. And that song just blew me away. So you wrote that at the Banff Center when you were part of the
Yeah, I
program
was
there?
there as part of an Indigenous songwriters um,
Wow.
intensive, I guess they call it. And
Yeah.
and that one, like the Carlton Trail. If you've ever been to Winnipeg, you know Carlton, the street. That was
Right.
the original trail between the fort. So Carlton, that was the Carlton Trail, and it went down through Portage and
Wow.
like
Really?
there's all these different trails that went to the various forts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty, I mean, Canada has a pretty horrible history in that regard. You know, a lot of I think people in the States don't really know.
Well, they have their own history that way.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, yeah. You know, with you were mentioning John A. Macdonald, he was
Yeah,
our first prime minister, I
yeah.
guess. He
They were so
confiscated a
busy.
lot of.
Yeah, they were so busy trying to get the railway through that they just basically took over the lands and well, what they did was they provided a land scrip, which was a trade for another piece of land. But I mean, these people had been working farms, and it was
Right,
their lifeblood. And but yeah, because the Métis had no representation, and because they weren't
right,
um, part of the original indigenous tribes, and they weren't white guys.
right, right, right.
They definitely weren't
Yeah.
related to the Scots. I mean, they eventually were all related, but yeah.
Uh,
Anyhow,
uh,
I think John's gonna.
and could
Sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention here too. We got a bunch of people on Facebook that have been commenting. I just wanted to read a couple of them to you. Linda Henson is saying she sure loves the show. Uh, Denise Williams has got like 3 stars, 5 hearts, a bunch of claps. Yeah. Sarah McDougall is from London, or from England. I've taught at a songwriting camp well, 2 summers ago now, I guess, and she was at the camp, and she says, Terry Morrison, you're awesome. What a beautiful song.
Uh-oh.
Um, and Emily Fernbaugh, she's from Nebraska. She says, "Small world sounds like a Nebraska landscape." And the Spice song, Evangeline Elston, who's a friend of mine, and she's my agent. She says, "My kind of song." And then Linda Hanson says, "I'll never look at herbs the same way again." And Kirsten Gorman, who I think might be a relation to
Gorham,
John.
yeah, yeah, she was,
Gorham, sorry.
yeah.
She's checking in from Germany. She's hi, all the way from Germany. That's incredible. Wow, that's so great. So thank you so much to all the folks that are watching online. Jay Linden is here as well. Cheryl Hoffweber, lots of great people. So thank you so much for listening. So we're going to introduce your husband now, who
Yeah. Come up
John Gorham is going to join you on a couple of tunes.
Yeah. He's gonna come and play some bass right now.
That's great. How long have you two been together, been married? Together. I don't even know if you're married, but
No, we're not. We used to say we were both married to we were married but to different people.
right.
It was kind of true.
At the beginning it was.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, welcome, John. It's really nice to see you
Howdy.
again too. John is a geologist actually, which is quite cool, and also a musician, and I guess with everything that's happening, you guys probably haven't been playing too many gigs around lately, but
No, we were playing out in the park, down at the Lions Park there in the summer.
Cool.
Her friends Michael and Justin there they got a calf shed, fixed it up, and then we just had a sort of an open mic. Everybody could be suitably spaced out. And there's a lot of drummers in this town, and everybody was itching to play something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no kidding. Amos Garrett lives over in Turner Valley there, and there's some incredible musicians there. Our good friend Lance Lurie and Toby, his wife Toby, I've forgotten what her last name is. But anyway, yeah, and Steve
It's
Lurie.
Lurie too. I mean,
Oh,
Say that again?
she's a Lurie as well, but she's also
Yeah.
yeah.
And you were
She
mentioning
is so great. I love those two so much. They're so awesome.
she's been writing good songs, man.
She's written some lovely stuff.
Oh wow. I can't wait to hear them. I haven't talked to them in a while. So
Put them on for guests one time, I think.
Ah, they've
So
been huh?
So this was the song that you guys were going to do. Which one is this called?
This is
What is
this
this
is called
one called?
Long Dusty Road. And
Oh,
this
it is. Okay,
It's
right,
Long
great.
Dusty Road, and we did that show for the Folkways people. And this song, even though it's on one of my albums, but they chose it to put on a compilation album that they put together. The Smithsonian Folkways called Wild Roses, Northern Lights, and it was.
That is so fantastic. Well, great.
So yeah, so here we go. It's called Long Dusty Road. It's about it's written from the point of view of a farmer after we had a pretty serious time of drought here for about 3 years. I mean, this is getting to be a while ago now, but yeah, I wrote it right after that or during that. Anyhow, it goes like this: 1, 2, 2, 3. I've been walking down this road, this long and dusty road. I can feel the heat burning through the leather of my soles. The crops are brown and thirsty, the well is going dry. There's not a drop of moisture, an endless cloudless sky. I'm dry and thirsty apparently. Somewhere off and to my right, I hear a meadowlark's sweet song, and the ditches have been all dried up for I don't know how long. The wind just keeps on blowing, it's taking half the soil away, and the sun just keeps on shining. Caragana sways. Rock me gently, my sweet mother. Let me hear the night birds sing in the twilight of the prairies. Is this the ending of a dream? This was my father's land before me, and his father's before him. All the hopes I had staying here were getting mighty took a job with Buddy driving a truck, trying to make things pay. And the wife works at the IGA 3 times a week, half days. And the surface rights on this here land the tax man takes away. And it's coming on 3 seasons that we've not had any rain. Rock me gently, my sweet mother, let me hear the night birds sing in the twilight of the prairies. Is this the ending of a dream? This was my father's land before me, and his father's before him. All the hopes I had of staying here, they're getting mighty slim. And the stock out in the field, the rye's are full of flies. And where once there was a water hole, the mud is cracked and dry. And the sun, it beats me to the ground, the sweat pours off my brow. I've been trying to keep on going, but I'm running out of how. So rock me gently, my sweet mother, let me hear the night birds sing in the twilight of the prairies. Is this the ending of a dream? This was my father's land before me, and his father's before him. All the hopes I had staying here, they're getting mighty slim. Rock me gently, my sweet mother, let me hear the night birds sing in the twilight of the prairies. Is this the ending of a dream? This was my father's land before me, and his father's before him. All the hopes I had staying here, they're getting mighty slim. So rock me gently, my sweet mother.
Yes. Wow, I love that song too. You're such a great songwriter. Oh my goodness, and you two sound so good together. Your voices blend so well. It's just, oh my goodness. So how have you been doing through this whole COVID thing? Like, have you been writing quite a bit?
Not really.
No, but aren't you working on a new record?
Pardon?
Aren't you
I
working on a new
I
record?
am working on a new record, and so
Cool.
the Red River Cart song and the Winter Sky, those both will be on that record. Yeah, I've had I've got songs that I've written over the last while, and
Yeah,
some orphans that never made it onto other recordings, and
of
that sort
course.
of thing. So yeah, I've been working right here. We're really lucky here in Nanton that we have our friend Steve Lurie has got his Crabapple Down studio. It's a very nice studio,
Yeah.
and it's 3 blocks away. So
That's so fantastic, and I mean, there's so many great musicians there too. So
yeah,
that's
other
really,
yeah,
I'm really happy to hear that.
lots of great players around the area. Yeah.
Well,
Able
any idea when that might be ready?
Probably not till the towards the end of the summer because just just getting
Yeah,
things done,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah, for sure.
kind of waiting to see if I get any money from the government. See if they'll give me some grant money. I
I'm
wrote a
sure they
grant.
will.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing about being Canadian that is, really wonderful is that we have all these funding opportunities. I'm actually still able to access some of it too, even though I live down here. But,
Yeah.
being a Canadian citizen has been really, thank goodness we have Canada Council and, And
Yeah,
every province has its own funding in
yeah,
Manitoba music
absolutely. Yeah.
and Alberta. What's the one in Alberta called?
Alberta Foundation for the
Al-
Arts.
okay, great. Yeah. So,
They support, every kind of art. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so it's theater,
Oh,
visual art,
visual arts,
yeah,
everything. Yeah,
writers, all
right.
kinds.
they've been kind of strapped the last
Yeah,
while.
well,
Yeah.
we have
You know,
our lovely conservative government here, who likes to. Those are the first things that go.
Of course. Yeah,
Like,
I know. Yeah. Yeah. That's always
nobody
the
needs art.
way. So what about as far as songwriting goes? Like, can you just talk a little bit about, your process and sort of how, what your experience has been writing? Is it different every
Um,
time?
yeah, I mean, I don't know. You get an idea, obviously. I like. I think doing the workshop up in Banff was really good in terms of. I did a bunch of kind of research before I went, so that I had some ideas that I wanted to work on, and yeah, I mean, I've been writing for so long. I can't.
Yeah.
Like you go through those times where, of course, if you're in heartbreak or anything like that, then you always write those kinds of songs, right? But then
Right. Right.
there's like you're
Right.
you're perfectly happy, so you have to figure out what you're gonna
yeah. What do
write
you do
about.
in times of complacency,
Yeah,
right?
I've been a part of shows, and so then you're writing about a subject, let's say, and yeah, I mean sometimes it's just a story or something will trigger an idea, and then I usually write things down, and then I'll get a musical idea in my head, and
Right.
well, I
Right.
usually have that musical idea kind of in my head when I'm writing, so that the scanning works, and then you go
Hmm.
through and you start writing the rest, and of course then you do your editing, and like, I mean, I don't know
Of
how
course. Yeah.
you know.
I was wondering, like, have you ever had an experience where you actually something feels like it's kind of coming through you
Oh
and you
yeah,
just,
oh yeah,
yeah.
I
I wish
definitely.
that would happen more often.
Maybe we're.
I've only really had that happen once, and it
Yeah,
was
I,
just like,
I think I've had it happen a couple of times, especially if you get going on if something really spurs you. And sometimes those are the hardest songs to sing,
right, right.
because it comes from an emotion, and it comes through
Well,
you, and
yeah,
yeah.
you have one right now that you
Oh,
can't
I've
get
got
through.
yeah, I've got a
Yeah.
couple right. Oh, well, I got one that I wrote that I have a hard time singing. I did put it on this album, and we'll see how it goes.
Yes.
But yeah, and then I have one that I wrote up in Banff. Like while I was there, my sister passed away, so
Oh
it kind of
gosh.
changed the flow. And so, but then I went back up to Banff. I had to come out to deal with that, but I went back out to Banff, and I wrote a song about that process. But I have never been able to play it.
Oh my God, no kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah, those
so
are the
it's just
hardest things to do for sure. Have you ever done any co-writing?
not really. Well, I have with Maria. Uh,
Oh
Maria,
yeah, Maria Dunn.
yeah, we did because we were part of a show that we did for 20 years at Christmas time. That was a songwriter's interpretation of Dickens' Christmas Carol, right?
Oh wow.
We had to write, like, we each had our character, and so we wrote songs for those characters. And
Oh really? Is it? Can you watch? Is there a video of it anywhere
there
or
is
anything?
actually, Bravo, when Bravo was a thing here in
Right.
Canada, they they recorded it for a Christmas special, and I you know I've got DVDs of it. I've got a couple of DVDs of it, but I don't
Currently,
know.
it's being played in Albania.
I have no idea. I don't know if you can access it on YouTube or anything like that. I've never
Okay.
really looked into it, but maybe I'll
Right. Right.
I think I've got a
Yeah, that'd be interesting. If you do find it, maybe post a link on my page or something, or send me
Okay.
a link and I'll put it on the chat thing here.
Very
Well,
cool.
why don't you play it? Sorry.
It's a very cool show.
It's a very cool show.
Yeah.
It's with Bill Bourne,
Oh
Dale
my gosh, right.
It's kind of like a rock opera.
Maria Dunn, and Kevin Cook. Like really great, a bunch of great songwriters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really fun. I'd love to see it. Gee, that sounds
Yeah.
really great. Well, why don't you do another tune for us? We got enough for time for another 10 minutes or so.
Okay, sure. So we'll do a couple. This is another one that I wrote up. Oh no, I didn't write. No, this one I just wrote. This is called. This is called Wolf Willow and Alberta Rose, and this is about the solstice in Alberta, because that's when wolf willows and Alberta roses they bloom around that time, and
And they're so fragrant.
it's such an incredible scent. Anyhow, here we go. The dancer raises dust, see the feathers fly, and pounding on the big drum, the singers cry. Hi, 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 sweet grass drifts upon the air. There is an offering and a prayer. As I gaze across these prairies at the summer's fading light, feels like time stretches on forever. The day becomes the night. Here in the sunset's glow, I catch the sweet scent of wolf willow and Alberta rose. Somewhere inside of me, I hear the ancient ones telling stories of this land that I am walking on. Deep within my bones, my grandmother's song, a whispered memory of a time long gone. As I watch the wood smoke curling in a darkening sky, my heart it beats a rhythm, my breath becomes a sigh. Here in the sunset's glow, I catch the sweet scent of wolf willow and Alberta rose. I hear the echoes of the hoofbeats of 1,000 buffalo running wild across these territories not so long ago. Now fences cross this land they used to roam. The car raises dust along this gravel road I fly. The pump jacks paint a silhouette against the evening sky through falling dark. I hear coyote cry, coyote. I dream of endless empty plains. I open up my eyes to the crickets and the nighthawk singing that refrain. Here in the sunset's glow, with the sweet scent of wolf willow and Alberta rose. Here in the sunset's glow, I catch the sweet scent of wolf willow and Alberta rose.
It's so great. I just love you guys so much. I'm so glad, so grateful you were able to be on the show, and I sure hope we can all get together again
Yeah.
sometime real soon. It's just really, I just got my first vaccine on Friday,
Yeah.
and my second one's coming on the 19th of March. So that feels really good. Just kind of, just I don't know. Some people are against vaccines and all that stuff, but I was really glad to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't get any.
waiting our turn. Yeah, for sure.
Oh
I think
yeah.
it's
So
about 6 weeks away here for.
For us.
yeah, right, right.
Terry's mom.
She got hers in the first round
Yeah.
because she's in her 90s, right? So
Yeah.
Right, right.
Taking care of the old folks and the frontline workers here.
Oh gosh, yeah, yeah, it's really important. So, but thank you so much for being on the show, coming on up to the house. And where can people find you, your
they-
music and stuff?
Right here in there.
Find your music, I mean.
yeah, I think it's terrymorrison.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
You can
They
get
can-
it there. Yeah. And it's Terry with a Y, just for those of you who are
Yeah,
always put an
that's
I
always kind of a
after
crazy thing
things.
too. So I'm just gonna share the screen here one more time for people to donate to. I'll be sharing the proceeds with Terry and John. So PayPal is paypal.me/L McRae MCRAE 42, and Venmo is Linda with an I -McRae -12. So thank you so much for anything you're able to give. We very much appreciate that. So so thanks again for being here, you two. Do you want to take us out with one last song?
Sure.
Sure.
This is a song called "Angel of Grace," and it's an old story from my background here. This is a New Orleans song. Oh, it's down by the levee of the Mississippi shore. Here I am knocking at your door. This is where you said you parked your old milk truck. I managed to find it just by luck. Here I am, yes it's me, and I've been knocking at your window coming round to see you. See where you got to last night, hoping that you were alright. I never found you though we were due to meet at Clarity's down on Bourbon Street. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Well, I'm new at this here game, and hardly anybody around here knows my name. I got lost in this here town. That's the reason why I come around. 'Cause New Orleans, that's a mighty big place, and you become a familiar face, yeah, yeah. And I was wondering where you got to last night, hoping that you were alright. I never found you though we were due to meet at Clarity's down on Bourbon Street. Hey, hey, hey. Spent some time in an all-night bar down on the strip, not so far from here. Hoped Indian Michael might come around and we could go on a midnight prowl. 'Cause he's got stories to fill the ears, poetry's built on tears, yeah, yeah. And I was wondering where you got to last night, hoping that you were alright. I never found you though we were due to meet at Clarity's down on Bourbon Street. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. telling me you're not a pretty sight. Oh, there you are lying on your bed, just that close to being nearly dead. Somebody took the boots to your face. I must have had to crawl back to this place. Yeah, yeah. I was wondering where you got to last night, hoping that you were alright. I never found you, though it would do to me at Clarity's down on Bourbon Street. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. You know, I've never seen anybody this black and blue. I can't imagine how you're gonna pull through. The tears are rolling down my face. You're telling me you're gonna be okay. How did you end up in this place? Calling me your angel of grace, yeah, yeah. And I was wondering where you got to last night, hoping that you were alright. And I never found you, though it would do to me at Clarity's down on Bourbon Street. I was wondering where you got to last night, hoping that you were alright. I never found you, though we were due to meet at Clarity's down on Bourbon Street. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Whoa, whoa.
Oh my gosh, what a powerful song. Oh, you're such a powerful songwriter. Yeah, it's interesting too. Like after certain songs, like there's got to be space. You can't clap or say anything. Like and that's one of them. It just has to be. You have to sit there and just let it wash over you. It's so amazing. Well, thank you so much,
Oh, thank you,
Terry.
It's a
Hey,
pleasure.
really, your songs, Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
thank
love your
you.
songs. I love the middle one you did there. Oh, sorry, I can't remember.
Oh,
the name.
that's okay.
Oh,
Gosh,
the
I
Three
know.
Midnight-
That's
the
a powerful song.
Three Midnights in a Jar is a great.
Oh, wow, thank
Is that what
you.
it's called?
Yeah, it's just called Three Midnights. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wrote that one with James. And songwriting is so much fun. I actually would love to try writing something with you. So
Oh
maybe we
yeah,
can
for
talk
sure.
about that after. But we've got so many great comments on the chat here. Our friend Philip Nelson is watching from the UK too, which is great. Hi, Philip. So great to hear from you. People are just really loving it. Somebody asked about Sherry St. John Murdoch. Thank you, Lindy and Terry. Do you accept email transfers? If so, I'll use your email address. And I can't do email e-transfers here, but you can, so they could send them to you if that's okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. My email is Terry Morrison, all lowercase, .55 @gmail.com.
okay. So hopefully that's okay, and I'll post it in here as well. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone on Facebook and on YouTube. Thanks to Evangeline for helping out. She's been sharing this to like 60 different groups and stuff too. So yeah, thank you so much, and stay on here with me. I'm just gonna
Okay.
shut off the feed, and then we can just talk for a bit. But thanks so much, everyone.
Thanks
The
a lot,
next show,
everybody who's
yeah.
Yeah. Please say a howdy to James.
I
Yes.
will, and it's funny. We have a puppy now. Well, he's not really a puppy, but he came in here during your set and is laying
saw-
at my feet here. Yeah,
I
he's
saw him
75 pounds. He's not really a puppy, but so anyway, March 13th, which is a Saturday, 7 o'clock Pacific time. I'm gonna be doing a house concert for the wonderful. Here, just hang on a second. La, 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 la. to Blue Roses. It's going to be a virtual online house concert. And then on March 22nd, we're doing Howling at the Moon, honoring the music of Hank Williams Sr. So far, I've got Peter Case, Mary Battiata from Arlington, Virginia, and Del Barber from Winnipeg while he's in Manitoba. So that's going to be really fun too. And then Ethan Ballinger is on Saturday, April 3rd, 4 o'clock. Miss Brown to You, April 18th. And then my mom's request show is going to be on May 2nd. So stay tuned. All that stuff is up on my website at lindamccrae.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.